Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to everybody around the world. Welcome back to another One Piece video featuring your girl, Vivi. Get ready for a very, very spicy deck profile featuring OP07 that you guys voted in here on the channel, and I'm going to deliver at least the best that I can with this leader. Now, needless to say, I'm not going to hold you guys. I'm not going to tell you that she is tier 1, tier 0, one of the best decks in the format, which she is not, alright? We know this leader struggled since she has been released in OP04. Things have changed a little bit. She has gotten some new tools in the format. Sakazuki has disappeared. Not that he was holding her back by any means, but she's something that you can craft and play around with, whether it's at regional events or your locals or what have you. She has some spicy variations you can come up with. And I'm going to show you guys 3 different deck lists here that I've come up with as of late. And we're going to dive into one of them and play a bunch of games as we normally do here on the channel. And without further ado, let's get into these lists here real quick. This one particularly, we are going to be running 8 2K counters with 4 Kaya, 4 Otama. I think Otama and Kaya are going to be mandatory in most variations when it comes to Vivi, let alone their universal, like very, very good 2Ks. In this particular build here, Otama helps out your Marcos popping like smaller bodies on board. Let alone the Kaya gives you like the search function, because you can build this deck to be quite bricky sometimes. So Kaya allows you to discard the bad cards you don't need currently and draw, fresh. But overall, these are going to be 8 2K counters that we are going to be utilizing here in this build. And we are going to be playing around with Doflamingo and X-Drake. Now, this inspiration comes from, being a Queen player. We kind of use both of these cards with the brand new Sanji. So I figure, why can't we run that in Vivi and do well with a new addition to Boa Hancock and OP07? This sees a lot of play in every blue deck. It's very, very strong when it hits the board. It allows you to stun one of your opponent's characters. Therefore, they can't attack the following turn. And if you play this on 8 Dawn with Vivi, you can give it Rush. So, at the end of the day, this is swinging at 8k. You're drawing a free card with your ability. It's very, very good here in this deck, I think. Especially when you're able to stack the deck with X-Drake and Doflamingo to kick it off with Sanji. That way you're getting 2 bodies down on board. Now, in that mindset, if you're going in on your 9 Dawn turn, you play down Sanji, you kick this on board, you cannot give it Rush due to the fact you don't have any extra Dawn. But you got 2 big bodies on board your opponent probably wasn't ready for, or may not have answers for at that point in time. This is something that I want you guys to look into if you guys are out there playing Vivi. This is a very, very fun deck. I would think it would do well, but Rob Lucci is out there, Gecko Moria is out there. Black decks have been a menace in the format currently, not only for just this leader here, but for Boa Hancock and for Doflamingo. It's very hard for us to beat Rob Lucci consistently, and I don't think Vivi is going to do it, do it the best. But she does get around some matchups here in the current content. Overall, the events here are going to be the same as they normally would be. Radical Beams, Happiness Punches, and the zero cost events. I think these are going to be a staple in every variation of Vivi that you can possibly come up with and or play, especially for how they work with this leader. She can attack, so Happiness Punch allows you to give a character or leader in your opponent's side of the board minus 3,000 power for the whole turn, which is really, really strong. We've made sure to include 4 Gravity Blades for those law matchups, and for any deck that goes wide early, this will really help you out in that situation. And of course, we've added in Pudding as well. Pudding is going to be very key to winning decks or winning matchups such as Enel with the big hands they typically have. But overall, let's dive into another list here, show you guys what we cooked up with the second one. This one here is going to be more Navy focused. Again, I've come up with 3 different lists. I played with these lists, consistently, I guess you would say. Now, this one here would probably be my second favorite, I guess. No, I guess this would be my third favorite. I like them all, but I think this one here for me doesn't do it as much as the one I'm going to show you after this one and the first one I just showed you. But this one is more defensive, I want to say. Considering the fact that we run with Tashigi and 12 2K counters this time around instead of 8. We run with the Gion for the Nami matchups, the rare occasion you guys run into her, the Suru, and then the Garp. All these 2K counters can be searched out with Tashigi, let alone she's able to find your pieces such as X-Drake and Borsalino and your Raging Tiger, which you will need in pretty much every single matchup in the format if you're playing blue. Now, All these cards are searchable with one TCG, which is really, really good. The only cards that you will be bottom decking quite often would possibly be the big bodies that you need on board, such as Marco, Shanks, and Boa Hancock. Considering overall, Marco is very good into all black matchups, considering he's a sticky body, right? But into those matchups when you're playing against RP Law, this doesn't do very much, because they can just bottom deck it. So when you are playing with a variation such as this, do keep that in mind, that Marco doesn't get a lot of value in every single matchup, but majority of them he does. And if you're able to stick this on board against a black deck, it's very hard for them to come back if you guys have board control. But overall, this is one of the lists that I've cooked up here. This one isn't all too special. I think it has gotten a lot better with EB01 and OP06 with the additions to Shanks and Boa Hancock, but I think some changes can be done to this list to make it a little bit better as well. Now, when it comes to the final variation of Vivi, which we will be playing today, this is my favorite iteration of the deck so far. This takes all of the decks and kind of combines them a little bit without having a full-fledged Navy package. We do struggle a little bit when it comes to the 2K counters because we are only running 8 this time around with the Otama and the Sasaki. Now, the Kaya is a very good substitution if you don't have access to these guys, but I want you to keep in mind something. You draw a lot with Vivi, a lot. To have the option to drop down a Kaido, draw 4 cards, or using your leader ability every single turn, or what have you, this guy in himself, if you have 15 cards, 14 cards in hand, and you need something different, you're looking for something else, you can play him down, shuffle your entire hand back in your deck, and draw the exact amount of cards you put in, which is very, very good sometimes in a pinch. So I decided to go with him over Kaya this time around and see how I felt with him. I'm very much leaning towards Sasaki. I think he's very good here in Vivi. So give him a shot. Let me know what you think about him and all that jazz. Leave your thoughts and your opinions down in the comments below. Now, we've added in one ulti. I've seen a lot of different Vivi decks that play this at max cap. I'm not a big fan of this card just in general. I only like utilizing this in like a Blurple Kaido deck, considering it's searchable. When it comes to this deck here, she really just searches out key cards for me. So in those op-2 moments when I need to find myself like a Raging Tiger or get a Shiraya in the Black-Yellow Luffy matchup, or get something on curve like Boa Hancock, she's very good in doing that. She allows you to search top 3, take 1 card, add it to your hand, take the rest, leave it on the top or bottom. Other than that, she's not a body that's going to be on board that's going to do a whole lot for you. You kind of need that in a sense where Marco, Boa's doing all the heavy lifting, up until the point where you can drop down a Kaido or a Shanks to close out games. But overall, this has been my favorite list, and this is the one we are going to play a bunch of games with today. Before we do that, I want to talk about one more card that you may be confused. It's called Dragon's Breath. Now, if all you red players out there remember, all red decks were utilizing Nico Robin. This is RG Law, this is Whitebeard, any red deck out there, we were always playing with this card. Not that this card is bad by any means, but I decided to look into Dragon's Breath and see how it performs in a red deck. I think right now in today's format, this is pretty strong due to the fact that it pops the key cards. We were using Nico Robin to pop Rebecca, right? Previously. And of course, we all know Rebecca has no power. So Nico Robin was popping this in the Sakazuki matchups and Gecko Moria matchups. That's how we were getting around this if you were playing a red deck, most of the time. Well, with that being said, Dragon's Breath allows you to do the exact same thing. You can pop Rebecca, and you can pop a stage. What decks are running stages nowadays? Black decks, Rob Lucci. Everywhere you see, he generally will be running stage in his list. This helps you out in those matchups, or if you're playing Newgate, Zora, what have you, this might be a card that you guys can consider. Considering stage enables Rob Lucci to have so many different plays that he wouldn't normally have without the card being on board. But overall, let's dive into some matches today and see what we can cook up here. Let's get at it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're going to dive into a bunch of games today, coming at you with Vivi. Get ready for a very, very spicy deck profile. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're going to dive into a bunch of games today, coming at you guys with Vivi. I'm very excited, actually, to run this one, to be fair. This is one of those leaders that came out in OP04, in which I really didn't dabble in all too much, to be fair. I played her a little bit an OP06 here on Sim, but I didn't think much would come after her. You know what I mean? I more so played a lot of Rebecca. And I thought Rebecca was very, very good on release, and I think she is much stronger now that Sakazuki is no longer a thing. But Vivi, man, I still think she needs a little bit of work. And that's going the extra mile, man. I really like this leader. I like the decks that she can come up with. I think red and blue is an interesting combination that that you can build off of. But I think having this leader can attack is still holding her back quite a bit. But we have gotten some new tools with Boa Hancock, and we can utilize Marco quite well. We can take advantage of Gravity Blade and all the decks that are running wide. I do think she has a shot at doing well in OP07. I just don't believe a lot of people are out there taking Vivi to like regionals or big events and all that sort of thing to actually get thorough testing with her to see how she would actually do. But I think they're more so taking the top tier decks and doing it that way. Because I would think if you want to win, an actual big event, you're going out there to get a prize pool and all that sort of thing, you want to play something that has results, is doing well. You're not going to pick up and choose Vivi and go like drive miles to get to this place and play cards. It's not going to happen. But I think if you put enough testing in her, and with OP07, you might be able to cook up something. I just think that she is struggling right now in terms of black decks. And it's not just her. It's Doflamingo. It's Boa Hancock as well. We're having trouble dealing with Rob Lucci. And it be what it be. But overall, we're going to go ahead and dive into today's game and see what we can do here. We are playing against Ace, which should be maybe a little bit difficult. If we can find our Gravity Blades, which we already have now, and if we can find Shiraya, we might be able to pull this off. I don't want to say easily, but a lot easier than if we didn't pull these cards up. You know what I mean? Put Satori in life here. Interesting. Oh, okay, I see. Not bad. Now, I do know that Ace is typically a by chance type of ability. You know what I mean? He looks the top 5, and if he gets it, he gets it. If he doesn't, he doesn't. It's very lucky. But he did get some new tools here in OP07 as well with the new 5-drop blocker Ace. So that's something I have to consider. And this is why I think Raging Tiger will do really well in this matchup. We'll take this hit. Speaking of Shiraya, we're at 9 Dawn here. I don't really want to bottom deck anything, so I guess we'll just play down another Marco and let him stick on board for now. I could play Shiraya here, or we can just go ahead and attack with 7 with Marco. Make sure we get this attack in. I could Vivi effect and then rush in with Marco here as well, or we can play down Shiraya. I don't feel like I'm in all too much of a danger, so I think we'll just go with that. Oh, okay. You're cool. Interesting. So we just saw him take that from life. So, you know what? Let's risk it. I know it's probably silly and we probably should keep this on board, but we might be able to pressure him a little bit more here. If we activate leader ability, draw another like 2k or any form of counter would be pretty good. We can go 6 with Marco. Oh, well, another Raging Tigers. Not bad. We'll leave up 1 for the Rad Beam and the Happiness Punches, which should help out quite a bit in this matchup. Really? So that means he got 1 Satori off the top 5. He put it into, his life. And then he had 2 more Satoris after that. Yo, Sim shuffled in a nutshell, I swear. Yep. I guess I forgot about pudding. Dude, that sucks. Huh. This might be a tough one to come back from. Maybe. I mean, we do have our leader ability that allows us to draw cards. But still. I need to find probably another Gravity Blade to clear this board, if possible, before he kills me. At least we drew back into a Shiraya, so it's not too bad. Okay, so there's another Marco. I probably shouldn't have taken that hit, if being honest. Another 7, so 7, 7, and 7. We're going to have to counter out of this one. That'll make him a 5. This will make this man a 4. We can go ahead and give him 1 card here being the Marco. So now he has to commit the Dawn in case he was going to like play down a Makino or a Flampe. I had no idea. So going 6. We'll give him both of these, I guess. Hey. I think it'd be very, very risky to play Kaido here. As much as that, you know, we all want to. So let's go for game. Because he has no blockers on board here. And I don't think he's going to be able to get enough counter to, you know, get out of this. In hindsight, I probably should have just went 5 on Marco and 5 on Marco. But just in case he runs like, I don't know, the 0 cost event. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, let's play Shiraya down. Give it Rush. Then we just go 5 with Shiraya. And then we can attach the rest of the Don on Marco and win game. As long as it's not 0 cost. Cool, we're chilling. Good game, buddy. Alright, we're going to run it back real quick. I know it's not something we normally do here. We kind of just move on. But, again, why not? We're going to go ahead and dive back into one more here. We decided to throw down a rematch and see what we can cook up here. Overall, you know, maybe I just got lucky the very first game, but who knows. So we're going to go ahead and run it back and see what we can do. Wow. Turn 2, by the way. Turn 2. Already hitting me with 2 7k attacks. I guess we can happiness punch this ace and then take 1 hit here. Yep, you got it. Borsellino, not really getting out of that. Ooh, okay, so that's for later. We have nothing really to play now other than Pudding. So I guess that wouldn't be too bad just to putting him in the early game. So let's just do that. Then we leave up 1 Dawn for Happiness Punch. Or Rad Beam, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. Then we can just pass turn, because we can't do anything else. Alright. Now, hopefully they didn't draw any little ones and any big brothers here. Or hopefully they drew all big brothers. That'd be great. Go 7. Get another Satori. That'd be awesome. Thank you. What a good guy. What a good guy. Oh, okay. Fair. Alright, so they have another 2k in hand. I find that interesting sometimes. They play down the Makino, which is a 2k in its own light, to take the 2k. I don't know. It's strange to me sometimes. It just replenishes the 2k, I suppose. Go 9. Red Rock. I don't know if that's worth it. But let's just bounce this back. I've seen some ace decks run some crazy shenanigans. I don't know if he's running, wow, I'm blanking. Momonosuke. Go 7 Dawn here. Do we bounce the ace back right now? Because I could bounce him back for 6 Dawn instead of doing the other one. And then we could just pass turn. Because we can't swing with Pudding anyway. Right now I'm just trying to hold board control until we can stick down Shanks or Borsellino or Boa. Whatever comes first that we can actually utilize. Without taking too much damage this turn. Or that turn. Okay. Interesting. So Pudding should be dead here. I'd imagine. Okay. So there goes that. Another Pudding. Goes 9. So Dragon's Breath isn't really going to be helpful in this matchup. This is why we only decided to run 2. Because you're not always going to run into a black deck. Whether it's on Sim or at locals. But you can utilize the card overall. So I don't see why it's not that useful here. There are situations where you can play it down with an Otama and pop something. And most of the time they don't really expect that, which is kind of nice. Especially when you need to get rid of a early game blocker like Shiraya. I mean, I guess might as well go 8K. I'm hoping just to get a counter from hand. Nice. Okay. Now we're going to be struggling. Because it seems like he's hit a pretty good curve, and I've got Puddin'd already, which does suck, so we did lose quite a bit of momentum. So we lost quite a bit of cards there. Thankfully, we got another Gravity Blade, just in case he decides to go wide. But I don't think it's going to help us out all too much here. I think we need some big bodies to stick on board. There's a Garp. Okay. That's the little one. Can he hit it? Of course you can. Alright. Well. See, all the luck is in favor of him this game. So this will be a tough one to beat. Because now he can swing, what? Quite a bit, actually. He can go 10 if he wants to. If he tries to clear Marco, I would think that would be silly. Considering I have no Dawn up, maybe he assumes I have no events. Because otherwise I wouldn't have stuck 2 Dawn to Marco, right? Let's see if he goes for it. Okay. Guess not. Ooh. Let's bottom deck that. Sorry, buddy. Hey, you lucked out. I lucked out. And you're playing yellow. It be what it be. Another Dragon's Breath here. It's awkward. Doing Blade to remove Pudding and Garp is probably not the correct play. That is not what I need. Alright, let's play Sasaki down. Much better. Much better. It may not seem like it, but trust me, it is much better. Because now we have access to Shiraya to make sure we can stay alive with Happiness Punch. Let's go ahead and go 7K the lead. And Boa can bottom deck like Garp or Makino or what have you. Okay, another Satori. Let's get Shiraya down, we'll pass it up. So we have the counter to stay alive this turn unless he has aces. Or I guess if he plays, what's it called? The Vegapunk Luffy. Yep, whatever. You got it, buddy. He still needs to have 1 blocker on board. Because we can still threaten lethal next turn. By playing down Marco, giving it rush, and doing 3 attacks. Oh, you're being very greedy. 3 cards in hand too. Okay. He's going for it, boys. I mean, I guess, wouldn't you do so? You know what I mean? Especially with what I have currently on board. I think he would go for game. 7K, and he's going to be able to swing for 8 with lead. We can take the first one. Oh, that's gross. At least we can counter out of this one, though. Happiness Punch is pretty good. It's pretty good. So now we can go 10K and 10K. He's a 7. I don't think he would have enough counter here. Unless I would get extremely lucky, right? He would need 4 2Ks to get out of this. I mean, I guess it's my only option. I could use leader ability, but I think we should just go for it. 7. Yeah, we need to go 10. I think these are the magic numbers here. Come on. Man, we struggle with this one, that's for sure. But hopefully this gets us there. Nice. Let's go, boys. I guess we're just going to be playing the brothers today. Hopefully that's not a problem. I apologize, guys. I'm looking. It be what it be. I've only run into Nels today. Actually, Black Yellow Luffy matchups. Ace was a wild card. And I think Yamato, I believe. That's pretty much it. So, to be able to do something other than running into Rob Lucci and a Nell would be great. Because regardless if we do have a card that can, you know, erupt the stage, it's still a very, very tough matchup. And again, like I told you guys before, I'm not going to hold you. I'm not going to tell you that Vivi can beat Lucci consistently. It's not going to happen, guys. It's just not going to happen. But overall, this matchup, this is another really good matchup here in the format due to the fact that we have access to Shariah. And a lot of our cards that we put on board, Luffy can't pop unless he does have the Vegapunk Luffy to get rid of the Shariah in that scenario. Other than that, our big bodies are always going to stick on board, such as like Boa Hancock and stuff. So, and we have all the defensive tools, and we can attack as a leader. So this is one of those stally matchups where we just constantly keep getting hand advantage. It's kind of nice. Pudding here is going to be essential, that's for sure. We already have Gravity Blade. So the moment where he feels he's comfortable, in which next turn, I'm just going to drop Pudding anyway. He's already searched out with Garp. He got himself an ace, so depending on what he wants to do this turn, we'll probably just drop Pudding and go ahead and shuffle up his rest of his hand. So he draws 2 cards here, takes 1 from life and deck. So yeah, perfect timing to Pudding. 3 Dawn open. I guess figuratively you just go 8k unless you have something else to play on board. Oh wow, okay. Alright. Ripping all your life early is kind of crazy. 2 left. So he goes down to 1 life on turn 2. That's nuts. Yo, I only have 3 Dawn. That was fast. I guess that would be like the cracked hand, you know, with Black Yo Luffy. But what are you gonna do? So Ace can still swing here. I mean, we have the Happiness Punch for him. And it's not like we can kill him with Vivi, so. Alright, weird. Don't know why you didn't swing, but okay. We'll take those. Alright, so 5 Dawn here. He's got 6 cards in hand. He drew a bunch of cards. Huh. Yeah, let's Pudding here. There's not really much else that we can do. I wish I could play Boa, but I can't. Sasaki, I don't want to drop down. We have a pretty good hand here. He's got just that in trash. Pudding might be the best play. If I activate leader ability and just... Yeah. Alright, we'll do this and pass it up. 1 Dawn can hang around for Happiness Punch here anyway, so... That would at least allow me to not take so much damage, right? Now I'm hoping we got rid of cards like Gecko Moria or any of the big brothers. That'd be great. Like Sabos. I don't want to deal with those right now. We have the means to remove them. But I try to save Gravity Blade solely for Sabos in this matchup. Because most of the time you can kind of build a pretty large hand, which Luffy can't do too much about unless he's running cards like Isho or what have you. 7. We Happiness this. We force him to Dawn up Luffy to swing. Actually, no, we actually have to go... Yeah, we have to do it all the way, don't we? Because otherwise I'm giving him Otama here. So either way... No, we can do it either way, but I think this way is the better way. I'd rather not give him an Otama for 5/5, you know? So now he has to Dawn Luffy up, I'd imagine. Or spend the 6. Goes 5. Okay, so I guess we have to give him the Otama or take the hit. We get a Marco off that. That's weird. How do you have nothing to play for 6 Dawn? Unless he's got a lot of 2K counters in hand. But then again, you know, Makino, Flampe, Hiyori. I don't know, it seems a little weird to me. But we'll freeze Ace. We'll bounce one of these back. Garp has the damage, so we'll get rid of that. I'm not going to swing. We'll just pass it up. I want him to play resources down to get rid of that card. And perhaps he did have something that he could play on board. He just chose not to because he didn't want to go to 0 life right then and there. Maybe that's the play. But he's got to do something here because Ace cannot swing. So if he wants to give me more cards by attacking with leader, I'm totally for it. So he plays down Curly to Dan. Interesting. I don't think all run-of-the-mill Black Yellow Luffy decks plays this card. I mean, it is interesting because it allows you to play down the baby ones for free, which is great. But I think Sabo is really just the only blocker you need, right? Am I wrong? Curly to Dan is interesting. We could easily remove it next turn with Marco and Otama, if need be, or we can play down the Blade to remove the blocker and Ace, or we can just lock up Ace again with another Boa, which could be a pretty good play. He doesn't know what the last life is, so I don't think he's going to risk the little Luffy right now. I could be wrong, though. Maybe he just goes for it and hits it. Nice. Okay, 8k. Come into the lead. If I Happiness, it takes him down to 5. We can just take the hit safely, or we can play Happiness Punch, give him the Otama. Or do we give him the Pudding? I think it has to be the Marco. Because Marco's not going to get any value here unless I decide to play him with the Otama to pop the Curly to Dan. But I can remove that if need be. So we can go 8. We can force this last life away from him now. We can play down to the Boa to go ahead and freeze the Ace again. You know what? Let's just pass. He's got 5 cards in hand. He'd probably just take this hit and then guard the other one with the Dan. And then he knows I can't swing with leader. And then he would just do his shenanigans, right? If we play it slow, it's probably better that way, instead of him just putting cards back in life. So, I mean, we did draw the Kaido. So I could potentially play Kaido next turn, draw 4 more cards, and go from there. But I think doing that might just be the worst play that I possibly can do, especially with his board state the way it is. I think we have to remove the board before we can go for game. And arguably, he probably is going to remove the last life with Luffy here to draw a card. But I think if he does that, we might be able to just push for game. Because all I have to do is remove the Curly to Dan, right? In that scenario. Okay. Goes 8. Interesting. I'm thinking that Pudding earlier really messed him up. We get another Otama here, which is pretty good. Just having the early 2Ks, or having the 2Ks in this scenario really helps out. Okay. Passed it up. He left 2 Dawn open. He didn't swing with Ace either. I think that was kind of smart, because I would just went for Ace the following turn anyway. Dragon's Breath will get value here. We'll pop this. That'll work. He didn't get the boost, so we should be able to kill him here. We've got 7 Dawn left. I think we can do it. Let's go 9. I mean, I could be wrong, right? So we might want to take this a little bit slow. So we'll go 9 first and see what he does. If he guards out, then we have to change plans. Yep, okay. But that at least is his whole hand here, so. And we have the means to survive, but let's go 8 here again. We have enough for 2 Rad Beams. Oh, he just takes it. Let's push it. Come on. You don't got it. Does he? Oof. Good game, buddy. It's well played. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we'll probably dive into at least 1 or 2 more games. This one might be a shorter video. It's probably going to be like an hour at the very least. But overall, I did have fun playing with Vivi. I just don't feel like I can push this deck and tell you guys, man, this is really, really good. Buy these cards, play this deck, take it to your locals, win. especially when you're going to run into Rob Lucci or Gecko Moria or what have you. Blue decks in general right now are very much struggling with black, so. But she is very fun to play, and if you guys are just looking to have fun, play a couple locals games and all that sort of thing, Vivi is a very interesting leader and can be built numerous different ways. So, I kid you not, she surprised me in OP04, and very much now, with all the new cards that we have access to, there's a lot of different lists that you can cook up, and I think a lot of people aren't necessarily ready for them or not looking out for. Like I mentioned before, I think with Vivi, for everybody that goes out there to regionals and bigger events, they want to play the top of the top, especially when you're playing for prizing. Therefore, she doesn't get enough love and or value or playtime. You know what I mean? But in any case, we're going to dive back into this matchup. We're playing against Purple Red Luffy. So, at the end of the day, he is on the poll as well. And I do want you guys to consider him. I think he'll probably be the next deck that we dive into after Vegapunk. I could be wrong. He might not win it. But if he does, I'm very much looking forward to that, because I think I have a very spicy list with Dragon when it comes to Red Purple Luffy. So, in any case, let's get back into this game here and see what we can do. I think this one particularly, I am just going to be looking to control board most of the time. I think Shiraya here will actually do really, really well. He does run a lot of big bodies, like Newgate and the time skip Luffy. Newgate can't pop Shiraya, so I don't really have to worry about that all too much. I will have to see Shanks, which we do have one in hand. And then one Red Rock would be great. Just one. There we go. It's going for 10. Goodness, man. He's just pushing damage right now. But speaking of Shiraya, we actually get one here as well. Dragon's Breath is not going to have a lot of value here in this matchup either, which is unfortunate. I mean, again, we have access to Otama, but still. We can go... I want to do a damage at the very least here. He does have the blocker. And he can discard a card to give us power plus 2,000. So I think we have to go for 10k. This way he's forced to give the blocker and give up more counter in hand. I wouldn't think he wants to give me 4k counter and then discard another card with her ability. But what do I know? He might just block. Okay, nice. He decides to take it. Love to see it. Okay. So now I could play Shiraya down. Or we could draw a card with Vivi's ability and just use Happiness Punch. Considering he only has one attack next turn. So let's go ahead and do this instead. Ooh. Unfortunate. I was hoping for Red Rock there. I think Red Rock would have been better. Or Pudding, I guess, because he has a lot of cards in hand. I think Pudding in this matchup is pretty key. Knowing my luck, we probably won't see her at all this game, but, you know, I can hope. Because he's at, what, 8 Dawn? So he can ramp up. He can play down Newgate here. I hope not, but he can. So that'll push him to 8k. I doubt he swings into Marco. He might just go for me. Okay, so there's Newgate. Nice. Happiness Punch and Marco to get me out of this. Only Nami in the trash. I mean, we could take this hit, right? I don't think they run with Kid and Killer, but I really don't know. Because some decks do. Okay, Bad Manners. Not too bad, actually. A zero cost event here. I could Boa the Newgate. Hey, there's the Pudding. Never mind. Let's get her done. There we go. This will get rid of the Radical Beam, which he got from Nami in the early game. And hopefully any other event that he had. And maybe he just drew into like all big bodies here or a lot of non-counterable cards would be great. Go 8s. Ah, see, it was a good pudding. It was a good pudding. We got there, boys. I'm sorry, buddy. I am sorry. It is what it is. So does he discard? Or does he give me the 2K? If he has the 2K. Okay. And that's one of the good things about that card, by the way. There was no reason for him to... Did he do that with... Yeah, so he used her ability to boost it up. I guess, you know, either way it didn't matter. Went to 10K, but still. I think the thing about that is you can discard a like a 1K counter or a card with no counter and give yourself plus 2K, which is really, really good. Oh. You play Shanks too. Spooky. Yeah. I guess I can't really counter out of this one, can I? So there's that. We can bottom deck this. Sweet. He swings in for 6K. Yep. So now we can KO Newgate. Borsalino is kind of a dead card in this matchup. We KO Newgate here. We can swing in for 6 with Marco. So now if he plays a big body here, though, like, it doesn't leave up any Dawn, then potentially we could go for game next turn. Goes 12. Yeah, you got that. That's fine. Like, what do you want me to do about it? Another Marco. Just getting any form of counter there is great. Okay, so he is going to play another big body here. So I guess we just give him both Marcos. Because I think he's going to drop the Luffy here. Or another Shanks. Okay, so Luffy comes down. Nice. So that's a guaranteed damage with the 12K. Yeah, we need a 2K here. Because Happiness Punch takes him down to a 6, right? Ooh, nice. Okay, never mind. He's playing a little bit safe. Interesting. I mean, yeah. Another pudding. So just think, if he actually went for game there, would he have had it, though? Because that's 6, 7, 8. Yeah, because you'd been at 9K. Happiness Punch would have made him a 6. I only drew off 1K counter off the life there. So he would have been able to kill me if he went for game. By 1K counter difference. But considering he decided to take it slow, I think that means now we have the game here. Overall, not bad. We did gain 2 Happiness Punches here. And another Shiraya, which is really good. But I think we have to try to clear this if we're able to. We need to get rid of the Sanji. Let's go 6 lead. He only has 3 cards in hand. But we don't have enough to play down things like Boa and Shiraya. So I think we'll have to play down Shiraya here with double Happiness Punches in the 2K. And I think if we go 12K with Shanks, he's probably opted just to take the hit instead of blocking out with Sanji. So I need 3, 4, I need 5 Dawn here to be able to play around with. So that gives us just enough for Shiraya and the 2 Happiness Punches. Okay. I mean, he did have to block that, so. Because that would allow my Pudding and or Sasaki there to swing in for 9K. We have just enough counter to win this here, I believe. He has 6. At least I think we're good. So it's going 12. Okay, so we can counter out here with Shiraya. Hold on, let me math. I think I can actually counter this with 1 Shiraya and be fine. Because Happiness Punches will get Luffy down to 6K, right? And then I just need the Otama to survive, which pushes me to 7. So I think we can also survive the Shiraya here by giving out the 1K counter. Is that math? 6, 3, 3. Yeah, that's math. Okay, I think we're chilling. I think that's what we should do. Just in case he has I don't know, what could the last life be that can make him survive? I mean, I guess they do have an option of running with a blocker, but I think we're chilling. Oh, how mad. I think we got there, boys. It's a pretty close game, that's for sure. Let's just go for this way. If he takes it, okay, so we had that. Let's take it slow. That's all we got to do. And good game, buddy. That was a really spooky game, like, to be fair. That was really good. Rad B makes him a 7. And now we just go all in. But in any case, we're going to dive into either 1 or 2 more games, depending on how long the next one is. And catch you guys back at the deck list here. Good game, buddy. I'll see you next time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and dive into another game here. Coming at you guys with Vivi, playing into Enel. Before we get into this one, I'm going to go ahead and talk about, we did make a couple changes to this list here. I wanted to see how I felt with Mihawk. We got rid of the 2 Red Rocks just to fit in Mihawk here. Nothing else has changed when it comes to this list. Overall, after playtesting with Mihawk here in Vivi, I don't necessarily think he fits this deck anymore. I think he's a very good card. I just think for this metagame, he doesn't hit a lot of prime targets. I mean, we don't run into a lot of Uta players out there, so we're not hitting the 7-drop Luffy a lot. And to be fair, on curve, you're not hitting Eustace Kid, you're not hitting Gecko Moria. So, and when it comes to this deck, he stops playing a lot of cards that he used to play in OP06 when it comes to Enel. And he runs like the bigger bodies like Yamato, Ace, Katakuri. So I don't think Mihawks can get all too much value here. Just unfortunate that we had to play against Enel. I figured he might be valuable in the matchups coming up to like blue and green decks other than Eustace Kid, but still. And we're talking like the Jewelry Bonnie, I think Mihawk could be pretty good into. But overall, let's dive back into this game and see what we can do. I think this one is going to be one of our toughest matchups to date, other than Rob Lucci. So, but the good thing about this is, with Vivi, we can stall these games out, boys and girls. Like, we don't have to attack Enel at all, right? And I've come to learn with decks like this, if I could play Zoro, you know what I mean, like the green Zoro, and I play him on curve and Enel just decides to, you know, Kingdom Come, cool, great, wonderful, nice, card's gone, right? When it comes to playing Vivi here, considering my leader can attack, I don't have to pressure this man at all. Therefore, all I have to do is build board, get a good hand size, and go from there. I think that this deck can actually do well in this matchup. Believe it or not. I think it's going to take a very skilled Vivi player and or a lot of repetition. But still. I know I probably shouldn't have killed the Shiraya there, or Shirahoshi, but it is what it is. There goes the Yonami. We can bring this back. I guess we can discard a Radical Beam. And pop this as well. So we got to clear the whole board there, which is nice. We got 2 sticky bodies on board being the Marco, which he can't really just play down Yamato and pop me. The only way he's going to get rid of these is by playing Katakuri. So, I think Marco in this matchup, just like in the Rob Lucci and Gecko Moria matchup, is going to be essential to winning those games. If by any means you can pull it off. I think Moria, you have a better chance than you would with Rob Lucci, but, you know, who am I to say? Go 6 here as well. Now, the downside to this is he already took one of his lives early with, was it Flampe? So, I figured Raigo was going to happen eventually. Like, it's a given, right? Let's be fair. Discard the 0-cost event. Bring this back. Now, let's play a Kaido here. Let's see how many Raigos or Kingdom Come, whatever you want to call it, that he has. Kaido will give me 4 more cards, or we can take it slow and play Shiraya. I don't think taking it slow is the way I need to go. I think I have to drop another big body on board. Not bad. Not bad. We don't have any Dons to utilize any of our events here, but we have quite a bit of cards in hand. Really? Really? You're cool, buddy. That card is so fair and balanced, I swear. It's so good. Can you do it again, though? Yo, I've never had this many cards in hand at one time. This is crazy. 16. Well, actually I lied, because in Perona and Yamato with the Samurai card, you know, we do draw a lot, but still. Back-to-back Kaidos. Alright. We got there. And we have a good enough field to be able to do that. It's crazy to me. 6K, we'll counter out. Otama probably doesn't get a lot of value here. And Sasaki does have a lot of plays, but just in case he does play a blocker down and we can get rid of it like a Marco, what have you. That's fine too. We'll lock that up with Boa. And I think we still need to keep putting pressure on NL here. Let's go 6. Gives me a Beji. Okay. Shirahoshi. Sure. That does suck, though, actually. He's running Ace as well, so, Perhaps I shouldn't... Yeah, it's too late. Yeah, it's too late. My bad. I probably shouldn't have attacked. Right? I don't think I should have attacked there. I think I should have just left it alone and passed turn. Discarded the 0-cost event. No, he had the 0-cost event was the last life. Alright. 4 more lives to go, I guess. Goodness, man. Or 3 more. No, 4's right. Yeah, 4's right. 7. We can get rid of the 0-cost event or Happiness Punch. But he has enough Don to play down something else here, such as like a Katakuri. Which might be the play that he's going to make. We can do 0-cost and toss something else. What am I not going to use here? I guess the Gravity Blade. Because all the big bodies are going to come down. They're going to have over 7. Yeah, or over 6, sorry. You bounce Shirahoshi here, maybe? No, it gets rid of Boa. Alright. Fair. You see? Look, Mihawk. Just been chilling here, boys. He hasn't got any value whatsoever. Because Nell doesn't really play anything in that scenario where Mihawk is going to matter here in this matchup. So, I feel like he's now a dead card in my hand. Thankfully, we have the 0-cost event to filter him out, but still. He used to be really, really good. Remember those days? That was a while ago, it seems. Shiraya here wouldn't be too bad. We don't have any other bigger bodies. We do have another Boa Hancock. We can pressure this, get at least 1 damage in. Hopefully. Yep. I think attacking with Kaido is probably not the move. Because they'll probably just Dawn up and swing into him next turn, and I have no blockers on board right now. I want him to attack me first, I think. That way I can hopefully clear board. We can get another Marco down, pop that. I could potentially play down another Shiraya here. We can give Marco Rush, and I can draw a card. There's a lot of plays that we still can make. We've got 2 Happiness Punches and 2 Rad Beams, just in case for later. Shiraya might be useful, though. Just in case. I don't see him killing me this turn at all, so... And I think the only way he kills Shiraya is by playing another Yamato to heal up, or playing down a Katakuri here. But it looks like he's probably going to play Ace. Goes 5. We can Happiness Punch this. Sorry for the dog. Let's go ahead and Happiness Punch the Katakuri. Goes 5 into this. I don't necessarily want to give them the other Shiraya, though, real talk. Let's give them the Otama. He'll probably run that into it. Yup. Dang, that sucks, though. Because my only way out of this would be able to just zero cost event, and I don't think that's worth it. I'd have to zero in given the Sasaki. Gets the extra life. Goes 10k into leader, right? Nice. Sure. We're getting down to the wire here, boys. I still have yet to see Pudding. I think I really need to see Pudding to go for game here. Okay, so I can freeze again with Boa. Kaido surely can kill one of them. Let's try to thin the hand out a little bit. I think I need to remove these cards here on board. At least one of them, right? Let's run Kaido into Yamato. So we'll go 14k. So we need 6k counter to make her survive here. I guess that's doable. Yep, zero cost events. Sure. Give me one more 2k. Dang, okay. So she's going to survive. I think if I try to go like super aggressive and go into this Yamato, we just lose. Because I think I need the Dawn to be able to play my events here. Because otherwise, I don't know if he has another ace in hand. I don't know if he has what else he has, you know what I mean? But we need to clear at least one of them. So maybe we can actually take care of the Katakuri and do 1 damage in with Marco. So let's go to 10. Nice, okay. At least one is down. We've got 4 Dawn left to play around with. I think we need to put down another blocker just to make sure we can protect the Kaido. Nice. Come on, please. You got a trigger. Yep. Alright. Sure. Frankie is so good. Shiraya allows me to at least get a blocker on board, and we have enough counter in hand to be able to protect it. At least I think so. And perhaps he'll do it like last time and run his big bodies into Shiraya, which I'm totally okay with. We've got a zero cost event we can get rid of Mihawk for. And then we have 1 Rad Beam that we can play around with, or Happiness Punch. Goes 5. Tendon's still open though. Ooh, this is rough. It's either I give him the 2k or we give him the Shiraya. None of those seem like good options right now. I mean, we could potentially get another 2k off life, but it's just not worth it. Because he knows where the last 2 counters are. Or sorry, the last 2 lives are. Goes 5 again. I mean, I guess in this scenario, we just counter out. Like, we have to block. It feels bad because it'll just be a 5k block, but still. And then we just give it a Happiness Punch. We can make the Yamato go down. Make the Enel go down here. Now, hopefully they run into the Shiraya as well. Thank you. Okay, nice. Can counter out here with a zero cost event and the Mihawk. See, I'm trying to tell you guys, Shiraya puts in work, boys. Really good card. Alright. Yeah. You got it now. Good job. Way to go, buddy. I'd clap for you, but, you know, I think that's rude. So I think he's probably going to play down another ace here to heal an extra life and attack me again. Right? No. Okay, cool. Shirahoshi. Katakuri. I mean, that's kind of bad too, right? Get a Borsellino here. 4 cards in hand. Can I necessarily go for game here? Can I do it? Because potentially we could play down Borsellino and bounce back Shirahoshi to hand, right? Give Borsellino a rush. Go 7 with Marco, 12 Kaido, 6 with Marco, and then, what, 8 with Borsellino? What's the worst thing that can happen? He gets another zero cost event. Yeah, I guess that could happen too, right? Let's try it. You know, I'm kicking myself right now because I feel like I'm playing it, like playing into Whitebeard and I'm just going for it. But perhaps we can, though. I don't know. Come on. You know you want that Frankie. He's thinking about it. He does get a draw, though, which is unfortunate. But, even still. Okay. So he doesn't play it down. He just takes the card for the 2K. So this will give us the Frankie. Yep. Okay. Let's give Borsellino Rush. Good game. Okay, we won't be able to do it. Fair. Oh, I forgot about that, yeah. Yeah, Nell's leader ability. What am I thinking? Alright, let's go 12. We still have a way out of this, I think. I don't think he can kill us here. That was almost bad. I totally forgot about the leader ability, man. I was just going for it. Crazy. We need to protect our bodies on board here. I think we need to have Marco. So we'll make him come back. I'm not sure why he decided to go for Marco, though, actually. Revive him again? Okay. What are you doing? Okay. Yeah, that's dead. You got that. That's fine. I think now this is a good game. I think we can do it. Go 8. Come on. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm not gonna lie. Alright, so I had a lot of fun with this leader. Definitely did. I will probably dive back into her in the future, give or take. I might even take her to locals, to be honest with you. I know a lot of Vivi players that frequent Gaming Giant are very much interested in playing this leader as well. I think she is very, very good here, but she does struggle against some of the black decks in the format. But I feel like the better Vivi players probably can get around it. Let's be fair. I'm not saying I'm the best of the best when it comes to playing this leader, so that's just my 2 cents. Overall, though, that Anel matchup, yeah, I know. Yep. I felt it. I know you guys felt it for me. Seeing that Veggie there at the very end is not fun. But overall, I had a blast playing this leader. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this one. I would dive into another game here, but I think we're pushing about an hour as usual. And I'm going to take a little break, a little intermission. Yeah, that's how I feel. Hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Make sure you guys hop in the Discord. Come tell me I suck. It is what it is. I will catch you guys in the very next video and or at locals. We have a bunch of games coming up here as well here on the channel. From Gaming Giant on Sunday, which we did take Boa here to this locals as well. There will be, I guess you will hear commentary from like everybody and, you know, myself and my opponent, you know, here and there. But I'll see you guys in a little while. Stay safe out there.